all the disrespect before you play back. Button check. Button check.
What is up, Butt Check family? Welcome back to yet again a beautiful day, a beautiful Friday. The weekend is here. We done made it, of buttons that need to be checked. Thank you guys for tuning in one more time. I actually got Dirty Low stopping in later tonight, but that episode will probably be posted like, I don't know, Saturday or Sunday. Either way, we got a lot to check out. Chapters down below. Without further ado, let's start the weekend off right. Let's go. All right, first up, for Saudi Arabia officially owns everything under the sun, buttons that need to be checked. And I guess we already knew that, but there's more. There's even more that they're doing in the esports community, and some of it is confusing as hell. Y'all be the judge. So check this out. We already knew EWC. EWC has been like the biggest thing. It started off like, what was it, Gamers 8, then it kind of transcended to EWC. That's a huge thing. Obviously, they bought into Evo, and then starting in 2027, there's gonna be like 9 Evos in the World Championship. On top of all of that now, they have the Esports National Cup, which is basically like an Olympics. Right here they say, forgetting everything or forget everything you know about esports. After reviewing more than 600 applications, we've selected over 100 national team partners to unite their nation's greatest players under one banner for the Esports Nations Cup. The countdown to November has begun. Who are you backing? So I think EWC starts in like, what is it, like July or August? Something around that time. And then this is starting in November. Check out the clip.
The greatest players, the largest prize pool, the most ambitious esports event the world has ever seen. But we're not done yet. Now, we play for something more. For generations, sport has united people across nations. Nation versus nation, heart versus heart. Esports claims its place on that stage. Let's run it. A global showdown where the best compete for more than glory. They compete for their country. The next evolution of esports. This is the rise of a new rivalry. This is the Esports Nations Cup. Riyadh, November 2026.
This is the Olympics for video games. And the reason why I say that is because this is not going to be an annual thing. They're going to have it every 2 years. Every 2 years, and they're inviting countries from all over the world. So now, instead of focusing on clubs like with the EWC, they're gonna add this extra layer, ENC, talking about the Esports Nations Cup, where they focused on actual like countries and representatives. How do they choose the players for this if they're like bypassing the clubs? I don't know, or maybe the clubs still have some influence. I saw in like the article, they said something about they had a meeting with some of the stakeholders and important figureheads in the areas. And like they said, they got a bunch of applications and they're gonna do this every 2 years for millions of dollars like they do with everything else. Right here, look, the ENC will be hosted every 2 years, providing a dependable structure for players, coaches, and esports organizations, and confidence for publishers, clubs, and partners to invest in long-term national team programs. At the newest addition to the EF or the EWCF portfolio, the ENC builds on the momentum of the Esports World Cup, the world's largest multi-titled esports event, and extends its mission to a new layer of global competition. While the EWC unites the best clubs, the ENC unlocks a new frontier powered by a national identity and regional representation. Check this out. They're actually doing something really different with this one. It's gonna start this year in Riyadh, but after, it's gonna be rotating, a rotating host model, bringing national esports teams to fans and cultures worldwide. So they're gonna start in Riyadh this year, but then after, it's gonna be a rotating host model. So it kind of seems like the Olympics, like it's going to change locations for like every 2 years. The ENC announcement was made at the new Global Sports Conference in Riyadh, where 1,500 industry leaders convened to discuss the convergence of gaming, esports, and sport. What is happening? Now we have a damn Olympics, but this is what's interesting about this. They show the games for this Olympics. Check this out. Apex, chess, you got Dota, what else? Fatal Fury. You know they own Fatal Fury, so that makes sense. But look, blah, 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 blah. Where's the Street Fighter? Where's the Street Fighter 6? Where's the Tekken 8? It is not in this damn list. I even went to their website too. I don't see it. But what I do see is this damn question mark right here. So apparently there's one more spot. One. So either Tekken 8 or Street Fighter 6 is not getting into this damn Olympics, and I can't understand. I can't make heads and tails of what's going on right now. Now, initially, obviously, you would be like, Fatal Fury? You got Fatal Fury in there. You got City of the Wolves over Tekken 8 or Street Fighter 6. But we already know that does make sense because they own the damn game. So, of course, they're going to put that in. But that's crazy. EWC is still showing love to Street Fighter 6 and Tekken 8. They're still having a lot of money. Like, if you go to their website, you see it right here. Fatal Fury right there still for that 1 milli. Let's keep going. Street Fighter 6 right there for that 1 milli. And then Tekken 8 right there for that 1 milli. That's going on this year, and that is a lock. Now, we all know from there, they done bought Evo as well. This is the new format starting in 2027. They're gonna start running it. Damn, as early as next year, we're gonna have 9 Evos. How the hell? So they're gonna pull this off. Evo's basically gonna be like a monthly thing. And on top of that, now we have the EWC and the ENC to look forward to. Well, the ENC every 2 years, but still, they are chalking the damn calendar up full of gaming events. Here's the crazy thing though. A lot of people are actually pissed. Let me go back to that original post. Because if you go to this post, the EWC Extra posted saying the level was set and the 12 players met it. From Street Fighter League World Champions to EWC of this year's stage, they've earned their place among the best. So they have qualified for EWC. And let me see if I can go ahead and click on this right here. So heavy hitters, you got Phenom, Taquito, Mano RD, Juicy Joe, Fudo, Kaba, Angry Bird, Daigo's in there, Chris T, Big Bird, Lashar, and Boost. Boost Lee is in there. But if you notice, there is a lot of Team Reject that is in here. I think they got 5 players right down the middle. Reject, 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 Angry Bird, and Big Bird also Reject. Now here's why people are pissed off. Because for one, they're like, yo, are y'all changing the rules? Because your rules clearly state that only 4 players from each team can have somebody at the EWC. 4 players per solo club. Right here saying your rules say the club may register up to 4 players per solo. Do you plan to break your rules by inviting 5 reject players? Then they post their own rule set right here. Others are like, there's 5 reject players. You are breaking the rules, but Xiao Hai gets his place disqualified because you also make up new rules on the fly. You guys are garbage. And I love Lashar, but he could play for reject and be with another team at the same time. Xiao Hai also had his circumstances, and you do this to him? And just to clear up any confusion, I would like to clarify here that the EWC has abruptly added a baffling new policy. This change has resulted in the cancellation of tournament spots for 2-time defending champion Xiao Hai. Currently, this policy seems to target Xiao Hai exclusively, so there's a lot of that. That is the second reason I was saying why people are actually pissed off, because they're looking at this for the EWC, that is, and they're like, wait, the 2-time champion? Do you not realize Xiao Hai won the last 2? He literally is the 2-time champion for this EWC, and he is not there. Because what happened is they made this new rule set all of a sudden where they were like, if you're on a team and you switch to another team within a particular time frame, you automatically disqualify, lose any rights that you had currently in your rankings. So Xiao Hai was like he was previously with KSG, right? Xiao Hai was with KSG and he switched to Falcons. Here's where it's more confusing. It's another Falcon team. Like, Falcons is owned by EWC. That is their team. So you would think if they were going to make an exception for anybody, it would be the 2-time. It would be the 2-time champion and the guy that's actually a part of their team. But they made up this rule. You can even see right here, because he changed teams, it is reported that he does not carry over berth earned from his previous team, requiring him to go through the Road to EWC program, in which to this day he has still not qualified for the up-and-coming EWC. Now, there's more qualifiers out there from what I understand, but Xiao Hai is not in it as of right now. as of right now, it looks like the man that has won the last two somehow does not get in this year just because he switched teams. But he switched to their team. Could somebody make sense of this? That's why other people are looking like, how do you have all these rejects in here and Lashard doing this, but you can't make an exception for your own champion? We're very confused right now. Now, silver lining in a way, Xiao Hai probably got the biggest esports contract to date. That's the rumor. When he first signed with Team Falcons, everybody was like, oh shit, this guy got like a $2 million deal, blew out any contract ever. Because remember, at this time, he was on fire, right? This man has been pretty damn consistent. Xiao Hai later went on social media and said, no, don't report. Don't pay attention to that figure because it's ridiculous. The $2 million is a bit much. But he still didn't deny. He did say, that's a bit much, but I will say the deal is very attractive. What does that mean? I'm thinking, could that mean 1 million? Could it mean 1.5? Could it mean $800,000? Could it mean 50,000? We don't know. We don't know. The most I've ever heard, and this is just FGC, was like Sonic Fox was getting like 20 G's a month. 20 G's a month is fucking crazy for playing some video games. And we're talking about FGC before this whole esports bubble. Before that is what I heard. But now, who knows? Who knows what the hell people are getting paid? It's interesting, right? It's weird that they would, if they're gonna do that, they choose to do it with their own, and then the champ that obviously deserves to come back. And on the other hand, Xiao Hai has been on a bit of a slump lately. Y'all been realizing that? Like, he's still getting there. He's in grand finals of some of these tournaments, but he hasn't seemed to pull the trigger, at least the one I've seen. I remember, like, I think it was last year, wasn't it? Let me know in the comment section. I think last year he actually beat Blas to win. And then recently, in the last two big tournaments that I've seen where he faced Blas, he's lost both times. Now, it's a nail biter. It comes down to the wire, but Blas looks like he is learning and growing, and he has edged out Xiao Hai the last two times. Either way, Xiao Hai seems like he's going through a bit of, he's doing that. He's also doing Fatal Fury, but it just seems like he's like kind of searching for something right now. So to go from like the two-time, all this momentum, I want revenge, all this stuff to like, I'm just trying to win now. I need a solid win. I got this lucrative contract. This is amazing. My time is now, but also the people that gave me the lucrative contract are not letting me compete into the tournament that I basically own for the last 2 years. That's weird. That's kind of weird. But how y'all feeling with all that being said? Now there's basically an Olympics being set, gonna take place in November, and it's gonna be rotating on top of EWC, on top of like a Evo every month starting next year. How you feeling? Let me know. And that is Butt Check family. Definitely let me know how you are feeling. Thank you guys for stopping by on this beautiful Friday. Like I said, Dirty Low is about to stop in, and it's about to get real dirty up in here. Take that as you will. But not that way. Don't take it that way. He's my cousin, all right? So I don't be rolling like Alex. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is he's about to come, man, and then we'll do like a special episode for you guys, and I'll probably air it like Saturday or Sunday sometime. So either way, appreciate the massive love. I will see you soon as always. I don't know what it is, but somehow, some way, it's about to get better. Love y'all forever. Peace.
Blah, blah, blah. Subscribe.
We'll be doing even better when we get that new package.
New package, same as old, man.
Say what?
Ain't no new package. Just gonna put that same shit out in a different color gel cap is all. Might spike that shit with some procaine or some caffeine, but otherwise the same.
String, man. People already coming back on us telling us that shit is weak.
I know, shit is weak, but, shit is weak all over. But the thing is, no matter what we call heroin, it's gonna get sold. Shit is strong, we gonna sell it. Shit is weak, we gonna sell twice as much. You know why? Because a fiend, he gonna chase that shit no matter what. It's crazy, We do worse, and we get paid more. That's a bonus right there. And you make sure you buy something that you wouldn't otherwise.
Thanks, man.